So, so here I am again. Mind racing. I want to get my nose pierced again. I know this is so out of nowhere, but I used to have my nose pierced. I want to get it pierced again. It was funny because was it my nose? Yes, my friend pierced it for me, and the gun had got stuck, so the earring didn't go all the way through. And I'm like, I don't half-ass nothing. So I grabbed the thing. I was like, it's going through, and I shoved the thing through there. I was like, see, it's going. And she was looking at me like, you crazy? I can be a little crazy, but I was determined because I really wanted the nose piercing. I always wanted the one, and don't even fucking laugh because I know my nose is gigantuous, like wide nostrils. But I wanted the bull ring, especially for my Taurus side, because I have a Taurus moon, Virgo sun, Taurus moon, Virgo ascending, Virgo rising, Taurus moon. A fucking rockhead. Yes, a rockhead. And I'm tough as stone, petrified, baby. A diamond, black diamond that is. That's right, black diamond. I'm all over the place, so get used to it, neurodivergent. Because when I said black diamond, it made me think of chocolate diamonds. And I'm not, let me take that back, because I was about to say I'm not one for jewelry. I am one for jewelry, but I just never got deeper into expressing my love for jewelry. But I pick out, like, I have my, I think it's on Etsy. I have like a whole fantasy list of jewelry that I plan to buy eventually. But yeah, I was thinking about chocolate diamonds. I have never owned, besides my wedding rings, which I don't have on. I have not owned particular like diamond jewelry and things like that. But I like it. But I have expensive tastes, and my expensive taste has to be, I have to do an override on that because there's other things that require financial attention. So anyways, I'm excited, and I got a lot running through my mind. As always, you are always going to hear me say that because my mind is constantly going. Which reminds me of another, it was an excerpt from Anne Rice's Memnoch the Devil, and she makes a statement. He has a restless mind and a something with his heart or something. I read that book a while ago. I think it was in my early, if not late teens, early 20s. When I read that, I literally, like, this was, I lie to you not, I threw the book across the room because it hit so deep, something within me. I know y'all gonna think I'm like some kind of foo-foo. Who knows? Maybe this is my psychosis. But it just, when I read that, and I was really into that book, like when I read that and it just hit. And I literally, like, it was like automatic. I threw the book across the room. I turned the lights out and I tried to go to sleep. I don't think I got to sleep that night. I think I picked the book back up and started reading it. But it was the way it hit, the way that statement was said. And like, I didn't quote it exactly because I don't, but when I read that part of that book, it hit so close to home. It was like almost like one of those scenes in the movie where everything comes together and you're like, it's like the grand reveal. It was like that moment for me. So it literally, my instant reaction, I threw the book across the room, turned the lights out, and I tried to go to sleep. Because I was like, that is me. That is me. That statement, I was like, that is me. My mind is ravenous. So like I said, yoga, meditation comes in high importance to me. Now, I'm excited because I read something else, and it's not like I just discovered it, because I do this on my own. I do these things, and what usually happens is I do them naturally, and then I'll end up reading something, and I'll be like, oh, so I am normal type of thing will go on. I'm nowhere near close to normal at all. I'm just saying. So it's oh God, how can I foobar the damn book? I think it's Woman Heal Thyself by Queen Afua. And again, this is my psychosis. I bought this book years ago, started reading, slacked off. Now I'm back to reading it again because I'm having challenges come up in my life, and I'm just trying different things to address what's going on and to figure it out, and correct some things that's happening with me. One of the things is I used to be a health nut, and I kind of like for 5 years I kept it up, and then it kind of like it died off. So I'm getting back into that because I enjoy that, even though I'm going to sound like and look, I more so look like a hypocrite, because you're going to hear me say stuff and see me doing stuff that has absolutely dire, it's not good for my health. But I am correcting that. But it was a section in her book that I just, because sometimes I'll do I'll just open the book in whatever page, that's where I'll start to read. And it was a woman describing how she used dance as healing. And I do that around, like my daughters are always like, they're usually the ones that walk in on me doing some crazy shit, and they'll be standing there like, Mom? They're always walking in on me doing some crazy mess, because in the mornings usually I do that. Like I will just, and it's not like any kind of like formal dance, it's just me basically moving my body. And I also do that with exercise. Like I try to keep in mind, because a lot of people, we get stuck and it's like, oh, that's not exercise. Because my friend, he makes fun of me all the time because he'll see me doing something. He was like, what do you think you're doing? And I'm like, I'm exercising. He's like, no, you're not. And I'm like, yes, I am. I was like, because it's movement. I'm moving my body. Anyways, and it could be a whole debate, whatever. But it never dawned on me like it did today of that being a truth. Like, granted, and I'm going to go into some cultural stuff, but culture, part of Black culture, dance is a major part. And I'm going to share some things, like I said, it's expressing oneself. You become vulnerable. You're gonna open up about things that you like to leave out. But I'm going to be open. I'm going to be authentic. Growing up, I used to get made fun of. It was always, I'm not Black enough, or you don't act like a Black person. And it was not. It was a joke, but sometimes it was like serious things said to me. And one of the things that stood out the most is like my mom used to always make fun of me because she was like, oh, you don't know how to dance. You don't know what you're doing. And my sister, who was younger than me, she was always the dancer. Like she could find the rhythm and move her body to it and everything. And that kind of it kind of scarred me. If I want to be totally open and honest, it kind of scarred me. And I became very insecure about that. And one of the things, that's important, not just for stuff like that, but in spirituality, is your body and mind connection, and that kind of like shut down a part of me and made me like awkward about it. So that's probably why it never came across to me, even though I do it naturally. Like I just do it. I don't give a shit. I'm moving my body because it feels good, and I just go with it, even if I'm not in rhythm. But I would like to, because my daughters, well, my oldest daughter, she was really she wanted to do ballet, and that's another thing that bothers me, because I was never able to put her in a ballet class, especially starting in younger, because they take to it. Not to say that she can't do it now, but I just wish I could have at the time that she wanted to. Now I don't think she's so much, but she still has an interest in dance. I did go around to some of the dance schools, and I was asking them, I was like, hey, I know you train the children. I said, but do you help adults? And the one place they were like, we never thought of that, but she was like, I'm pretty sure you can come in and, move with us if you want. And I'm like, okay. I was like, that'll be fun. Granted, I have not been able to sign her up yet, but the day is coming. But just the thought of it, like, cause like I said, I do it. I don't do it as a thing, and maybe that's the thing with me. Like, cause once it becomes a thing, sometimes when we make something into a job, then it becomes like not so fun anymore. So I do a lot of things just out of nowhere, and then I go find articles like, hey, that's actually a good thing that you do that. But yeah, this woman was explaining how through each situation and challenges that she had in her life, like divorce, the birth of her child, how she would use dance as a way of like supplementing, like, not a comfort or, something. Sorry, my mind is racing faster than my mouth can move. But just bringing that up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And it's like, now I just want to dive in deep, because I feel that, like, I really feel that. And it was so many times I sit in my car, because you'll see my videos, and I'll be in my car and I'm like, man, I just want to go somewhere and I just want to dance. I just want to dance out in the middle of the woods. I want to dance around a bonfire. I see myself in my mind's eye. I'm already there and I'm doing it, but I have yet to do it in the physical, in the bonfire thing, that is, because I do dance around, but it just captured me today, thinking about that. And it would really help. Now I live in an apartment, and we're kind of like we have outgrown that space. We have been outgrown that space a while ago. Story for another day. But I say that because it's not that much space to dance, but I make do with what I have. Like, most of the time I'm wilding out in the bathroom or in the kitchen, and that's usually when my daughters walk in there, standing there, and they're like, Mom, what are you? Because I'll do all the expressive stuff. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I was like, that's such a good idea. And like I said, I'm not one for coordination, but just to go with the flow, to forget all the rules and everything, and just let yourself blossom. And I know I'm not the only one that struggles with that. And even now, because I'm thinking about it now, and I'm like, I wanna move my body, and I see belly dancing, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And a particular video a song that I listen to all the time, and I will post it. I absolutely love that this song is very, it's a very spiritual, soulful song, and the vision that I get to that song, and I will get to that. I don't want to get too caught up, because like I said, I diverge. But that song, I can see myself dancing, but that particular song makes me want to learn the particular dance movements as an honor to that song, because it's just, that's how much I like it so much that I would like to honorably dance to that song. Not to say that I'm not going to dance to it until I learn how the dance moves and everything. Not that, because I do dance to it, but to actually learn those movements, because it is a spiritual song. And I know each with that type of I believe it's like a Hindu dance, and I believe each posture is like yoga. It's a special connection to a deity. It just has my mind on fire right now with the whole dance thing, because I feel that, I can see myself doing that and getting deep down into it and using it as healing, using it as praise. When we think about praise and worship, sometimes again we get caught in the this little narrow thing, only this. But when you go to you can see a difference, and I'm going to say I'm going to call out culture now and again, because there's a difference from going to say a Catholic mass and then going to a I was going to say Baptist. I think because the church that I went to was kind of with what you were allowed to do. I know I'm not, again, conversation for another day. But in the way that when you think of worship, so many things come up. I worship through singing. I worship through my thoughts. I worship through my artwork. But to use your body as worship, just saying that, the emotions that rise up, and what I feel inside when I say, using your body as worship. Now I do use my body as worship in other aspects, if you know what I mean. But to use to do the dance and stuff, it's just that body mind connection mind blowing. Like the vision that I'm getting, mind blowing, and I am definitely diving deeper and deeper and deeper into this because I feel it soulfully. I feel it. So I'm soulfully excited about this kind of stuff. And like I said, just becoming comfortable with yourself and comfortable enough to express no matter who's around, no matter what's going on around you, just to release that energy. Because my recent posts that I did, I'm speaking on energy release and directing energy and things like that. Lately, I've been diving into Tai Chi and the movement of energy, and this is like a synchronicity. Finding bringing this to my attention, bringing it to the forefront of my mind. Dance as worship, and dance as healing, and dance as just self-expression. Thinking on it deeply. And then just becoming really comfortable with just expressing yourself through body movements and things like that. I know there was it was an exercise video that also brought that up, because it was saying, like moving the hips, because a lot of us, we sit all day, especially office jobs, so your hips don't get that kind of movement, and then you get all stiff, and next thing you know, you're crippled and you're walking like this. It's important to move your body, incorporate these things in, and especially part of, like I said, of Black culture. Like sometimes I don't feel like a real Black person, so to say, and then I know I'm going to get the people, well, what is a real Black person? What is it? You know what I mean? And I would get picked on from my family, and not so much my friends. Like, people would say stuff because, like, I'm into a lot of things that usually most Black people aren't into, and you'll see it, as I unfold on my channel. But just thinking about it, and I'm like, oh my God, it really makes a difference. It was another video that was speaking of releasing, it was root chakra work. In my self-study, I'm finding that, a lot about chakra, like I said, that mind, body, and soul connection. But it was like a squatting thing that you do, along with the twerking, which, we see all these videos, people twerking and everything for various reasons. But to know that, like, there is a move that is like twerking to help you release some of the built up trauma, frustration, things that get caught in the body that needs to be moved out. I'm going to be speaking a lot on, like, baggage, hoarding, how people think of, you think of the literal hoarding, but no, I'm talking about you hoarding around emotions, hoarding around things that need to be let go, and then you're wondering why your body feels a certain way, because it starts in the spiritual and then comes down into the physical. That's the cycle of things. So when you're holding on and you're hoarding around all this stuff, you become the bag lady, and then the next thing you know, you're walking like this, and you're crusty and about ready to fall over. I don't want that. I don't want that happening to me. So therefore, I'm going to move. And especially about this year of the fire horse. Fire is movement. It's action. It's that, like, to just get in there, do what you gotta do, move, be. That passion, that desire, that thing that's in there, that's the fire, that's your fire. And don't even get me started on the black flame, because, this is the stuff that moves us. And a lot of times, you're going to hear me repeat stuff, but a lot of it all connects. I stand in my own fucking way, and I know I'm not alone. I know I'm not alone. So for you people that is in the same position as standing in your own fucking way, move. Just move. It's pent up. It's clawing to get out. Like the post I made the other day, I was saying it's Project Release Cerberus when it should have been Release Fenrir. Two different mythology stories, but it would have been more appropriate in stating Release Fenrir, but I said Cerberus because it was based on a conversation that I had with one of my sisters, and she was telling me, she was like, you change, where's the old person, where's the old Tyra, bring her back out. And I'm like, you're asking to release Cerberus. And I should have said Fenrir. Tying this back in, because like I said, I diverge, but tying it back in, my very name Tyra is based off of the Norse Tyr, which is a key element in the myth of Fenrir, the wolf, because Tyr ends up losing his arm to Fenrir. So I'm saying that, showing you how it all, like my stuff will all tie in. I diverge, but it's all connected. It's like one big spider web. It connects. So eventually it will make sense. You know, once everything's out, you'll see that it makes sense. And I'm kind of enjoying watching my hands move. So you are going to see a lot. And I hope to pull you in. I hope to ensnare you, darling. Draw you in so you can hit that like and subscribe. I'm going to have fun with this. And another thing I put in that post, I really do feel like I'm waking up to the rest of my life. I haven't had, like most people, you know, will have some kind of trauma or something big that triggers the awakening or whatever, or some people think of midlife crisis. There's a lot of crisis going on, but I say it's midlife awakening. That's what it feels like. It's a reassessment. It's looking over and like, you know, what have I done? And now that I'm at that, what have I done? What am I going to do? Type of thing. So this is part of my project. Even though I'm calling it Releasing Cerberus, I will, again, tie it back in. I have explanations for everything. No. But Fenrir should be in there. Instead, it should be Release Fenrir. And hopefully I'm pronouncing it right. If I'm not, please don't flip out on me. Just, you know, relax. Relax. So here we go. This is me waking up to the rest of my life. And I know I'm not the only one, so hit the like, subscribe to my channel, and we can unfold together and share our experience. Oh my God. I can go on and on and on because I'm looking at my facial expressions and it's reminding me again. There's, I believe it's the Fulani, the tribe. I don't know what it's called, but it's a dance that the men do, and the men actually, you know, put on the makeup and everything. Gorgeous, gorgeous looking, delicious looking men. If you got time, yes, Google that shit and get some eye candy. But I love it because they do the little like the facial expressions and everything. Again, I believe in Hindu practice, they do that a lot too. And again, it's an exercise. It's a spiritual thing. So look into this stuff, you know, because a lot of times we come across this or we don't come across it, and it's really stuff that can really help you with a lot of things. So me making those facial expressions kind of remind me of that the tribal dance. I don't know what the title is. I will look into it. It's just I'm going off the top of my head, you know, just letting it all out. But yeah, look into that because like the different y'all gonna think I'm nuts by the time y'all finish watching all my content. So if you want to join the asylum, again, like and subscribe and see what you learned today. I think even the in Samoa, I think they do the same thing like this. Their dances and stuff include those facial expressions. And again, it links back to other, you'll know in my other videos, I was speaking out on how some videos when they post it, they'll post you like your face will be stuck on some crazy position and that because it's clickbait. And everything connects. I'm telling you, everything connects. So that got me thinking about that too. And probably I will for my, what is it? Clip, what is it called? Thumbnails. Oh my God. My brain. Thumbnails, I'll probably do my facial expressions and get you to click on it to see the craziness. But hopefully I bring some entertainment, if any. Some information that you can chew and chomp on. Oh, there'll be a lot more to come, darling. A lot more. But yes, think about it. Use your body as worship. Incorporate it into your practice, incorporate it into your daily living. And it feels damn good.